Comprei como corrigir. Aí eu fiquei pensando, vou mostrar para os colegas, mas a minha ideia foi colocar um fita gráfica.
Isso, mas aí dá para colocar um fotográfico, mas tem que fazer uma correção na parede antes.
Isso, vou te mostrar. Aí,
Perfeito.
vai chegar uma hora que a gente vai pedir para ele abrir o braço, para ver se abre os pés. Coincidiu e eu tinha comentado com a Maíra.
Venda total, né?
Total. Eu nunca tinha visto. Criança a gente não vê.
Atenção a todos, por favor, vamos retornar aos nossos assentos para darmos início, então, à cerimônia de formatura. Vamos nos assentar novamente, por favor. Bem, senhoras e senhores, vamos tomar os nossos assentos para iniciarmos, então, a formatura dessa noite.
Não, tem que fazer como se fosse um rato. Tirar a cartilagem dos dois lados. Alinhar. Aí pegar a parte medial aí do silicone, rodar, colocar o vitagráfico se estiver retinho e fechar o músculo por cima. É um caso bonito.
Olha esse aqui, ó. Você vê na hora que...
E onde faria lá na Bahia? Colocar Bahia? Não, eu sou da Bahia, não, mas então a ideia é fazer no Rio. Mas o hospital da Unirio. Então teria que fazer como se forneceria
Olha, senão que meu pai vai vir hoje, pegou amanhã. Para ele, fazer uma
reconstrução. Só que isso, assim, essa parte está assim, essa parte está assim. A gente tem que fazer as fotografias para igualar a parede. Aí quando ficar igual, assim, de um lado e do outro, tem que soltar dos dois lados as cartilagens. Aí você vai fixar as duas bases canais e colocar o vitagráfico.
Deixa eu te mostrar a imagem. Você vê como é rudimentar ainda a cartilagem.
Não,
Você está vendo?
Então, aqui é cartilagem, aqui é osso.
Muito bem, senhoras e senhores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the graduation of the commencement ceremony of robotic surgery, robotics thoracic surgery. I'm going to invite to the opening of the ceremony the coordinator of post-graduation or graduation degree at Hostel Albert Einstein, Dr. Ricardo Terra. Right. Good afternoon again. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Our graduate course started in the middle of the pandemic. I can tell you that I wasn't the first to support this course. It started with Dr. Ribas and Dr. Alessandro, who was the director of our surgical network. They proposed it to me, and my first thought was, can we do that? Can we deliver the level of learning that we consider appropriate? is that the best way to do it? It's not the traditional model to us. Um, we know we work with residency, the PhD program, but not a graduation like this one with like continuing education, and not a section like that. And you're coming from a session like this, and Vivaldi presented that, and we can see that, yes, it is a successful model. So I'd like to say that, especially to these two guys who were visionaries from this point of view, together with the whole team of Einstein Surgical Network, because we are now in our third group of domestic students and international, and the third domestic groups, and the second with the international students. We've already formed thoracic surgeons before. Figures are figures, but we managed to effectively train people to perform robotic surgeries safely. And more than that, I think we managed to share with you our vision, which is quality, technology, and science, and how we could work the cases, taking into account the patient. And I think that we can follow, because we were really happy this year to have a former fellow proctorating our current fellow. So they are like our kids, you know, they're gonna do whatever they have to do, and this is gonna carry on. It was very good to see Guilherme presenting from Itaperu. It's a place that I didn't know. And that is a robotic surgery to do what we are doing. It really makes us happy. And having Nilo creating the model of surgery in a place like Maranhão, our post-graduation is about that.
É só direcioná-los, né? São todos cirurgiões e cirurgiãs formados que já têm uma experiência grande. Eu vejo muito.
I see as an exchange. I'm not doing. It's not just. I'm not just saying that. We learn with you as much as you learn with us. In practice, we are channeling knowledge and disseminating an idea, and I think that's our great challenge and our goal, and that's our dream, which is to have a region with strength, and we believe in our surgeons from Brazil, Latin America as a whole, and we have a great quality of professionals. You can ask Dr. Luis what he thinks about that, but I think our quality is great. And we need to be stronger, get together so that and join forces to show and grow again together. And I think that's our great achievement. And form centers, focus in quality, not figures, focus especially in our final goal, which is our patient that are going to benefit from the technologies that we bring to you today. Now, I would like to thank you for everyone who were part of this process. Once again, I told you this morning, and I'm going to tell you again, it's easy to us. Today I came to the hospital, I came here, I checked whether everything was ready. I met Natalie and Paula, she said, everything is ready, and I was sure about it. I met with our team of event planners, and I said, okay, I didn't have time to come here yesterday, but I was sure that everything was going to be ready. I came to see the patient was ready. So sedation, our nurses, everybody involved in the care of the patient and managing this course. So an applause. Give these guys a hand. And finally, I'd like to thank all of our professors who took part in this course. We have some of them here, especially my fellow colleagues, Dr. Ribas, Dr. Verelis. Every month we have like 48 hours online dedication. It's not very easy, but it's a great pleasure to be with you. And finally, congratulations to our graduate students. I hope you can carry on working in robotic surgery, and I hope you keep working in our alumni program. The goal of this program is exactly to get you closer, to create a network, the support network, and from then on we can create other educational activities and other scientific activities that will make our country and our region greater. So congratulations and thank you.
As a coordinator too, we have Ribas here. I will not be repetitive. I agree with everything that Tara has mentioned. And I think that the story that we used to say regarding where Alessandro and all of that, the opportunity appeared in the moment that the coordinator, which is the general one for robotic here in this hospital, he invited us to discuss the models that we could use, the models in a practical approach for teaching. So the second time that we went into this discussion, he told us, for me and Alessandro, that now is the time for us to expand, and now is the time for us to have a thoracic team here. So we said, well, it's a good idea. You know, we are ready. We feel that that's the proper time for us. So, okay, so you have 2 weeks to prepare and work on that. So he gave us 2 weeks only, and we arranged a group. We invited Tara. You know, I think you have realized that Tara has some kind of expertise for this field. He's a bit technical. So when he heard that, he jumped into that. And before being the group was getting together, we have the first group, the first class. So we put everything on the internet, on website. Okay, and God has heard us, and thank God that we have this fantastic structure with Terra, which is working, and each time better and better, bigger and bigger. And it's a benefit for our colleagues, our surgeons here from South America, and as well as other countries that we see, like in India. And I believe that it's an example of success for all of us. Thank you very much, everybody who is here. And Alessandro, please, if you wanted to say something, please feel free to say whichever you feel like saying, especially a message for our fellow students and the students who are here today. And 4 or 5 times, sometimes we know that after 4 or 5 times, it's not easy anyways. But the idea is that we need to get ourselves better, to keep practicing all the time. Thank you very much.
Eu vou usar o modelo científico.
I will continue using the scientific model for this ending. Ribas has mentioned and adding another brick, so I would like to add another brick to this wall. So we have a concept from the educational initiative, which is very strong for both parts and all the parts involved. So there is not like one course that is going to be perfect if we don't have good students. So I realize that we have the effort from our students, the students who are here that have been very dedicated, and you are the main part that makes the 100% of our course. So this network that you see, that you come here, we have the first class presenting what they study. So a round of applause for all the students that are here today, because you are very important for this process. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your presence, for your dedication. It's essential for us to have this participation, for us to grow up, this interaction in South America. And it's something that is motivating us to keep on moving on and reaching our goals. So once again, thank you very much.
Tem 2 anos.
Bem, neste momento.
So at this moment, we would like to invite the professor from the state of Pará, who is a thoracic surgeon, Alvarenga Figueiro, please, that is going to represent the national class that they are graduating here today. Good evening. This moment, I would like to congratulate you for everybody from Albert Einstein, the head and people who are working here that are very important for the entire world, for our country mainly. So for the professors, for the thoracic surgery, that I would like to congratulate, that are people that helped me in my graduation. Francisco Neto, who is the president of the thoracic surgery, that is one of the big names that we have in the thoracic association. And also all the professors from the graduation of robotic surgery, Alessandro Mariani, Eduardo Campos, Urebe. Then we have Ricardo Terra, and also the professor José Ribas, that I would like to request a round of applause for them. And under the name that I also would like to congratulate people that were part of these 1-year classes that we had, online classes. I would like to say congratulations. The Antero Gomes Neto for the thoracic surgery from the north of Brazil. And for international group, Miguel Angelo from Mexico. I would like to congratulate all of them under the name of him. I would like to share with you how I got here. I started using the internet, but I started ending up stopping the course. I continued trying and struggling myself to continue with the course. It was difficult for me, but however, received the support that at the 52 minutes of the second time of this football match, I could carry on and manage to finish. So I'd like to say thank you for everybody and congratulate all the professors, because we don't know each one, but there were many people here face-to-face in this robotic training that we had along this course. So there is a region that I'm coming from Amazonia, that Jonas da Silva, the poet, describes that part of the richness are the trees that we have there, and also the nut trees that are very big and strong in the region. The fruits are sold, and also the robotic surgery needs to be also exactly like the precious trees that we have in Amazonia. So I see that I needed to play PlayStation that I bought for my kids. I needed more time with my kids. It was very heavy to carry on everything over my shoulders, but I realized that I have many people here in my team supporting me. When I started the course, I was struggling. It was very difficult for me. And when they shared the story of this 70-year-old doctor, so I realized that I was strong enough to carry on with the course and to take over this responsibility. I am a professor now, and we see the pleuroscopy, teaching and sharing that with my students. Within 10 years, I would be invited in order to share with them the open surgery. I see that 92% of the surgeries are by video, and at the time that we have the robot, the ways that we see the approach, of course, that we need the financial support for all of that, the resources from the government to be able to accomplish that at the end of the day. So we will also have to care for the minor procedures, but the robotic surgery arrived to stay and will stay, as we could see today, because it's excellent, which is something that we have never seen in South America or in the world. It's going to change a lot of things in the future. So the qualifications that the students will receive. So first, to discuss regarding the theoretical approach, which was based in the scientific evidences, which is updated, which was fantastic in my opinion. Also to develop the technical experience from the students in the thoracic aspect, X, Y, and Z. So apply the criteria in the selection for the procedures. And number 4, to identify the qualities in order to develop the robotic surgery in a more effective way, to share the technique with others. So everything was developed in our team, and I'm sure that we have learned a lot because we have the support from the professors from this hospital that we see, even with surgeons from other areas that also helped us for heart, gynecology, urology. So all the surgeries that we see, they were complementing. And as the colleagues that we had for the first class, we realized that we were better. I'm sure that everybody learned a lot. We had fantastic classes, and the learning helped us to do and perform these video surgeries, robotics, with Clayton from Macaé, who started and took ages for accomplish that. The robotic surgery is a new way of approach, and I am sure that this approach is essential 460 years before Christ, from the 40s, and also this revolution from the pleuroscopy development. In 1935, we have the laparoscopy with the Germans, and in the 90s, we had 1994 as well. We started as normal as struggling. We learned by ourselves sometimes. We had to buy clippers, we had to buy the materials, but we had to see after 15 years of robotic and thoracic surgery, it's a reality. And even that we have the difficulties, it's part of the past. And the 3 groups that I have seen will be able to perform the surgeries. So we will have one unique approach that I'm sure that you're going to have our own experience along the years, because we are surgeons. Sometimes some of them pretend to be God and want to be God. However, the essence has to continue. I'm here to imagine what we can do for a long time and the times that we were struggling to reach and we reach this point that we are today. It's important to be strong. I would like to say thank you to José Hermes, and is a professor that before moving to the Live with God, he had the reduction of the gastric procedure that one of his member of his family shared regarding the hands of this robotic surgery. I couldn't imagine how he would feel watching these robotic surgeries nowadays. So finally, I would like to say thank you to God, to my father, Mario, in memoriam, my mother, Terezinha, that helped me initiating my training. So to my children, that have always been here, and Ariana as well, my wife, that was supporting me, even sometimes to São Paulo, didn't complain regarding the hotel where she had to stay in order to perform the simulations. So under their names, I would like to greet all the families and all the members of your families that are from my classmates. So there is a happy tree. The happy tree is in the forest. So the big tree is very powerful. So this tree is suffering that inspired the compassion. Is the rubber tree, is the one that fulfills the forest. Thank you very much.
Representando os alunos da turma internacional, convidamos o formando, diretor médico do Hospital Diomed da cidade do México e cirurgião torácico, Dr. Miguel Ângel Padilha.
Tem adaptador da Mac aí? Chegou o Mac aí para vocês?
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you so much. it's sad that to have different results, you have to do the things differently. And I want to summarize our experience of 1 year working and cooperating and living with our colleagues here in 2 words that are very important to me and have a good meeting. The experience that we take from our international colleagues is passion and art. I think that we could see how the team managed to deliver from everybody who received us, and it was an extraordinary experience that we had. The organization in terms of logistics, technique, and the people working here. So I was really surprised, happily surprised, how everybody does it very professionally with a lot of passion. To honor that, I wanted to share you a presentation. I think Dr. Terra has said that before, but I think it's worth mentioning. And then I'm going to give you our impression of the PERS International graduate course. 18 colleagues from different countries, but with one single idea, one single passion. So very briefly, I'm going to talk how it all started, the infrastructure, the leader of this project to consolidate it all, developing this program, the outcome, and my opinion, my personal opinion. First of all, this is based on the first course that they had for Brazilian colleagues. That was when they managed to land a project that had been proposed for a while and finally landed for Brazil only. The project was more ambitious. When I was talking to Dr. Terra, he used to say that he always wanted to expand it and reach more borders. And of course, the outcome was the course that we had in Mexico in 2019, and that was Dr. Terra was very restless and concerned about that. And the first national course in Brazil, and then there's an international course in Mexico. So I think Dr. Terra said that it was in the middle of the pandemic, and everybody was limited. There was things against us, not in favor of the course. So this course managed to set the base, and it was a huge work. The logistic team managed to coordinate dates, international professors to make everything coincide, and it left us with a great impression of what was done here. So with that, we reached the result. I think it was summer, right, when we received calls from those interested. Personally, Dr. Terra called us all, and for me, it really caught my attention, and he didn't need to convince me much, or us, to buy this idea. So to talk about infrastructure, I can summarize that Hospital Albert Einstein, São Paulo, and I think this scenery with all the logistics and all the professionals involved and dedicated to its work led us to take this great impression the course. When we started the course, that facilities weren't ready. They were finished in 2022, I guess. And it ends with this such lovely location, and it's very impressive. It's always very impressive. In terms of infrastructure, I can only say research team of Hospital Albert Einstein. I don't need to say more, and it allows us to reach this detailed knowledge of this new system. So for any interesting project, we need a good leader. And we could talk and talk and talk about what that means to be Dr. Ricardo Terra. And today, a good friend, Ricardo. And we are very empathic with you. We know how difficult it was for you to do that, and your name now is written with a great story. And I think you managed to consolidate this dream, which is to go beyond, and you did that. You overcame all obstacles, and before I thought that the division between countries should be a wall, right? And we realized the division of countries and states, it just a line on the map. It doesn't exist when you have wishes and you are ready to do so, and you have a leader like Dr. Terra. So I just want to highlight that he's been great. And with that, we consolidate the course. And it was very difficult to bring together the interests of all of us, different characteristics, different surgeons, different like experienced surgeons with career, to spend time and take classes and come here to Brazil, travel to Brazil, to São Paulo. And I think that we had the stars were aligned, right? And he was ready. And we were committed to doing so. I think it was a titanic work that you managed to coincide the availability of foreign doctors that go beyond the Brazilian borders. We had great experience, people from Europe coming here, Russia, really, I was really surprised. And coordinating all that, and something that was very important, that managed to coincide real clinical cases, actual clinical cases. Of course, we are really happy to be able to be part of it. And it counts points to our certification. I think it's the type of work that has to do with logistics and coordination, again, to have the patients ready. So again, a great team requires great participants. And I'm not going to leave behind our professors, especially Dr. Alessandro, who's a great person. We really like him. He was committed since the first night here to drink some beer and with us and take us out. So what can I say? Someone like that deserves to be brought to everybody's attention. So Dr. Eduardo, who's a great character, a very committed person, and he's very easy to work with, very open. And again, I really admire this guy, Dr. Ribas, again, with a great story to tell us. His name is written with good background, so it's great to work with you. So. And together, it was a great learning process. We're going to take a lot home and with our hearts. And about, of course, development for us, it was fantastic. We were all together. The person who was taking the patient, the nurses. It was awesome to meet the surgical chief nurse. She had a table with all the need of all surgeons. That's just great. She's a committed person. And I mean, language hasn't been a problem. We don't speak Portuguese, but Portuguese, Spanish, Portuguese, and some English. like when you mentioned Dr. Bruna, he said, I cannot speak Spanish, so let's speak English. And today, she is a great Spanish speaker. It hasn't been a problem. Language hasn't been a problem. So believe you me, the people's speeches and how technical these guys are, everybody was very committed. I realized, I saw them very interested, very dedicated, and and the passion where that people show when they work. They know about what they are doing. They are professionals, and that's great. That I'm talking to about everyone. So I've never thought that it was so transcendental, this experience. We made very good friends, and today I can say that we have brothers. We met here throughout the course, but now we are more than friends, and very good friends. And seeing Daniel when he said goodbye, I mean, it broke my heart. I was very empathic. And this group is the first. Maybe it's not the best, but of course, we're gonna have better ones. But we set the stage and established the competencies of the international team. So, and how we can drink tequila, spirits, and we need to. This must carry on. So this fraternity, this experience, and this is one of the first time that we were together, and we saw ourselves among them. We were really welcome, as if we were at home, or better than if we were at home. Very briefly, the results, and now we have the beginning of the program. We start certificating people. This is my colleague and partner, Dr. Israel, who is from the military hospital in Mexico. He started with the intuitive certificate. We've worked together, and that's one of the first times that I worked that. And Dr. Terra, in this proctorship, we did the symposiums of robotic surgery. We did it in a very special place in the middle of the city in an old farmhouse. Very typical. And we managed to do that. Dr. Terra managed to get to know the thoracic surgeon's nest in Mexico. So with that, they're going to start using robots at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So the programs were not left waiting. So those, Juan was the first one from Chile, then Oscar, and they were already working. And now Ecuador has many cases. And we had a conference in April in Ecuador where we could see the real beginning of the program. So that's how this class was organized. So Juan, who was one of those who started in Chile, that was May 2022. And then we have in November 2022, we have our colleague Daniel from Argentina, and he invited us to some barbecue, and you don't see the ribs, so there's something missing. There's no ribs there. So again, that was a few months ago, Enrique, and from this date on, I think he's working with 12 cases, so things are progressing really fast. Dr. Terra, those are the outcome. These are the outcome. We have Dr. From Guadalajara. He did his first surgery. Francina was her advisor, her proctorate. So, and in terms of the outcome, this is the first conference. The first one that we did in July 2022. That's the second one that we are experiencing now. And it's great idea. And that it creates a sorority with among our alumni. I mean, we are all interested in do so. That keep us alive. And I think we can be the fraternity of the ring. So we can remain friends and professionals sharing cases. So what can I say, professionally speaking? I can just express my feelings, my admiration to the dedication and professionalism since Dr. Terra's idea and all of you professors and the Albert Einstein infrastructure to allow this course to take place. And not only friends, but to have you as professors were great and admire you in your professionalism. What else can I say? The impact in my professional life is from evening to morning. I could never imagine open the door of my hospital and have Dr. Francine there. That's the first one that we did. We managed to do so with no problem whatsoever. It was really safe. And really, it's really touching to see the robot, being able to see it at the console. It's a great feeling, great feeling. I don't know what else I could say, but when you realize that the robot is coming, and that's when you see all your efforts, all the trips, everything that we struggled to make it happen. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. And of course, when you sit at the console, it's unbelievable. It's a great experience. And I think it's something that you guys can understand what I'm saying. And little by little, we will all be touched by this project. And I hope someday I can help my colleagues to proctorate or serve somehow. And that's how I'm feeling about this course. And to leave something, it's a proposal that I've mentioned before. It would be worthwhile to consider Mexico as also a headquarters. We have many things that we can share with you. We are far away, but the efforts are the same in Mexico, from Mexico to Sao Paulo, from Sao Paulo to Mexico. Dr. Alessandro has been there. It was great to drink some tequilas, eat some tacos. He was well received. And if that happens, Mexico is waiting for you with open arms. And again, thank you for being part of such a select group of surgeons. We are a fraternity, a sorority, so thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite graduate coordinators of our course, Dr. Alessandro, Dr. Eduardo de Campos, Dr. José Ribas, and Dr. Ricardo to help us to deliver our certificates. I'd like to invite before starting the certification, I'm going to pass the floor to Dr. Eduardo. He just wants to say hello. He wants to say hello. I apologize. I was removing a drain from a patient. That's when Ribas called me. It's a pleasure to be here with you, to have taken part of this project. I really hope that I can keep doing so for a while. We can see the results in your words, in the surgical outcome. So I'm very proud, and I'm really happy with this project. Congratulations. Okay, now let's invite our graduates. You can come to the stage to receive your certification and take the official picture with our coordinators. So, graduates Aldafonso Parodipita,
Formando Alejandro Alfaro Godaracena. Formando André Luiz Carneiro Martins Chaves. Formando Antero Gomes Neto. Formando Carlos Alberto Fernandes Crisóstomo. Formando Carlos Raul Watiz Gonzalez. Formando Clayton César de Oliveira. Formando Daniel Alberto Staltari. Formando Diego de los Rios Antelo. Formando Diogo Gomes Augusto. Formando Henrique Antônio Gagliardo Cadena. Formando Evandro Luiz Brum. Formando Fábio Antônio Gaiotto. Formando Felipe Santos Passos. Formanda Fernanda Sobreiro Alfinito. Formando Francisco Antônio Barbosa de Queiroga. Formando Francisco Guilherme Fernandes. Formando Gustavo Bandeira. Formando Huáscar Rodrigues Galban. Formando Israel Lopes de Medeiros. Formando Jesus Caranza Sarmina. Formando José Correia Lima Neto. Formando Juan Alberto Berrios. Formando Juan Emílio Cheire Forester. Formando Luiz Henrique Llanos Elgueiro. Formando Luiz Carlos de Lima. Formando Luiz Sérgio Grossi Ferreira. Formando Matias Nicolás. Formando Miguel Ângel Padilha. Formando Nelson Alves dos Santos. Formando Ney Conceição Alvarenga Figueira. Formando Oscar Andrés Escola Vilaces. Formando Patrício Santillan Duarte. Formando Rafael Lucas Costa de Carvalho. Formando Ramon Henrique Montiel Trejo. Formando Rodrigo Olívio Sabion. Formando Samuel Padovani Stephen. Formando Vitório Moscon Puntel. E formando Vladimir Dias Marques. Ouviremos novamente, como coordenador, Dr. Ricardo Terra.
Okay, now I'd like to take the advantage that I have this space to thank you again for everybody who helped in the organization, my colleagues, part of the organization. I'd like to thank the Brazilian Society of Thoracic Surgery. You have our president here, part of the directors here, the body of directors, Dr. Vogel, and Banami, who was here this morning. So it shows the institutional support that is very important to us. Once again, I'd like to thank you for the surgery program. Dr. Bruno is here representing the body of the program. And also like to reinforce Dr. Miguel Padilha's words. For us, borders are lines. Knowledge doesn't have ownership. It's something that needs to be passed on. So again, congratulations to our graduates. Now I'd like to invite all our graduates to come here to take an official picture of this class. So after the picture, you're gonna have a reception with the cocktails and drinks. So please take your belongings with you, because the auditorium will be closed.
Podemos ter... Vamos lá. Isso, pode ficar uma fila aqui embaixo e todos aparecem na foto. Vamos lá, comemorando. Parabéns, formandos! Mais uma foto aqui. Bruno. Parabéns a todos os formandos. O coquetel será servido, então, em frente ao auditório. Por favor, levem consigo seus pertences pessoais. Em nome de toda a coordenação, parabenizamos aos formandos e boa noite a todos.